Spirit of place has been inspiring us for millennia. It's the term used to refer to the soul of a place. It's the distinctive and the cherished aspects of a location. It's otherwise known as Genius Loci, and certain locations in the landscape appear to have an energy, have a heartbeat, and have a spirit. In ancient Roman religion, a Genius Loci was the protective spirit of a place. It was often depicted by a figure holding certain attributes. Many Roman altars have been found throughout the whole of the Western Roman Empire. They were dedicated to a particular Genius Loci in wells and springs and tree groves. And these were often special places of worship and ritual. Now, many of the ancient sites around the world were chosen because of the geological features in the landscape, but also the special feel or the subtle energy of the place as well. In contemporary usage, Genius Loci usually refers to a location's distinctive atmosphere. It's often called Spirit of Place. And Spirit of Place has inspired and continues to inspire poets, artists, writers, builders and garden architects. It's derived from both the tangible and the intangible features of a landscape. So tangible features include the architecture and the physical features like rocks and lakes, hills. And the intangible are the subtle energies, the animist features of the location, and the culmination of the lived human experience told through folklore. Now, the understanding of Spirit of Place can be varied. There are many unique places around the world, and they have distinct characteristics and aspects that are cherished and loved. Perhaps you've a special place that you go to, or a place that you love to be. Maybe it's a beautiful church or somewhere in the landscape, but it's a place that you feel peaceful in. For me, this doesn't signify Spirit of Place, but it's a place that you feel connected to, and it's a sense of place. Neither should Spirit of Place be confused by the residual aspects of human occupation or interaction. So strong emotions imprinted on the landscape, or indeed active spirits, they're not Spirit of Place. There may be spirits of place, plural, but not Spirit of Place. So what am I talking about when I say Spirit of Place? So perhaps a better way to call the intangible is Anima Loci, and this translates from the Latin as the soul of a place. It's the intangible aspects of the place that are somehow recognized and acknowledged by the people, and it brings it to its full power. Artist Nigel Pennick, he wrote on Anima Loci in 1993, and he said, "Sanctity is a physical manifestation of the essential nature of a sacred place, which comes into being when the Anima Loci is recognized." So for me, Spirit of Place is the protective guardian energy that could exist in a tree, in a rock, or a body of water. It's natural and it's supernatural. It's tangible and it's intangible. Now, my first conscious experience of Spirit of Place or Anima Loci was in Glastonbury. I was on retreat at Chalice Well, and I have shared some of my experiences that I had in this special place in a previous video on fairies. Now, I didn't have the language of Spirit of Place then, but I knew in every fibre of my being that Chalice Well was a truly special place. And I had so many crazy experiences there that defy explanation. Now I realise that I was interacting with the Spirit of Place, and that who I saw around the sacred well was indeed the Spirit of Place manifested in human form. So let me tell you the story. The group I was with had performed a meditation in King Arthur's courtyard, and we'd had some really intense experiences there. So we'd relocated to the well, and we were just sitting around it, soaking up the vibes. As I mentioned before in the fairy video, I looked up to the tree canopy and I saw beautiful points of light all over the All over the leaves and the branches, tiny pair of legs, and they were fairies. But what I didn't share was that I also saw a beautiful lady. Now she was dressed in a long blue flowing gown and was very ethereal. She smiled and my heart burst forth with love. It moved me to tears. Her arms were wide, inviting us to share the space. No one else in our group saw her, but she was very real to me. When it was time to leave, I left her a small crystal as a gift, and I never forgot that experience. But it was only later in my learnings and my growth that I was able to put a language to what I'd seen. I had seen the Chalice Well spirit of place. She was a guardian. She was a protector. She was a nature spirit, and I was blessed to have seen her. I found a wonderful website called Celtic Earth Spirit. They totally get spirit of place, and I will link them in the description below. So they say the aspects that denote spirit of place are these, and I couldn't agree more. So a unique character or essence. So it's special and it's unique. It has an intense energy field, and these can be earth energies all created by the trees and the rocks and the water. Spirit of place also has a presence of special beings, of deity, spirits, fae, nature spirits. And you know when you're in a place full of spirits and fae, you can just feel them watching, can't you? Spirit of place also has animism. It possesses its own consciousness. And this is an important aspect for me of what spirit of place is. They do have a consciousness. It has a personality and an intelligence. And you're able to communicate with it. Spirit of place is also distinctive. It's a place apart. It just has that special something. And it manifests its own power. You know when you've entered into a place that is powerful, and you can feel it on your body. And spirit of a place also has the empowerment of people. These places can uplift us. We get to communicate with a higher power. We get to transcend the ordinary world in these special places. So for me, this describes my experience at Chalice Well. It is a special place. It has a unique feel and character. It has its own consciousness and the ability to interact with those present. It is truly a special place, and it has empowered many people for centuries. Like I said earlier, I had so many experiences at Chalice Well that I was left in no doubt of its power and its presence. But it was only when I was first introduced to the concept of spirit of place that I remembered what I'd experienced, and I knew that I had been touched and interacted with the spirit of place at Chalice Well. Now, in my Druid-inspired earth energy practice, I believe that finding and establishing a connection to the spirit of place is integral to my work. My practice is built on developing a relationship with the natural world, with the rocks, the stones, the trees, with waterways, lakes and streams, the flora and the fauna. I believe that spirit of place manifests in tangible ways that go beyond the subtle energy feelings of the location. If we shift our vibration just a little, maybe we can see the spirit of place. Now, I have been honoured to have seen a couple of these elemental spirits in some special locations. I recall being in Fort Rod Hill here in Victoria, Canada, and I saw the spirit of place there, quite by chance. In a small grove, I saw a tree-like man. He was wandering through, and at first he was totally unaware of me being in his space. He was connecting with the trees and the bushes, and he was focused on his task. When he became aware of me, we kind of locked eyes, and I think he was as surprised as I was to see each other, and in an instant he disappeared. It was brief, but he was a manifested spirit of place. I've also been gifted with manifested images of spirit of place in the landscape, and by shifting your vibration, asking for and connecting, they sometimes reveal themselves to you. It could be a face in a tree trunk or a rock. They're often the guardian spirit of place manifested, and occasionally they allow me to photograph them. So here are a few photographs to share. So now I want to introduce you to a very special place. It's close to my home. In fact, it's on my property. And the spirit of place here is ancient and powerful. So elemental energy is all around. And for the most part, the energy is beautiful, loving and protective. But at times I do get a sense of kind of not being wanted in the space, like they've got important work to do. The energy feels intensified and there's an unwillingness to let me be part of whatever's going on there. And I respect that and I respectfully withdraw. So the guardian is this beautiful stone outcrop, and I call him, because he is masculine, I call him the sentinel. He looks out onto the road, and then the collection of rocks that sit by his feet are ever watchful in all directions around him. A strong tree stands guard, and the rocks honour him for that. The sentinel greets me. He's the first thing I see when I'm home, and the last thing that I see from my rear view mirror as I'm driving away. He's stoic and he's solid, and he'll be there long after me. I often wonder how many people whiz by in their cars not noticing him. But I know that he notices and he's ever watchful. So this is my spirit of place. This is the place that I come to heal and to find peace. I feel the warm embrace when I enter this magical realm. So how can you connect to the spirit of place? So first, find a spot outside near to where you live, where you feel safe. This should be a spot where you can sit undisturbed. It could be in your backyard, it could be in a local park, in a nearby wood, by a river, or even it could be a quiet room in your house. Now I recommend asking permission to be there before you enter. And you'll know in your heart if you're being welcomed. And if not, leave the space and try another day. You know, respect is such an important part of developing a relationship with spirit of place. So if you have the permission to enter, step in. Spend a moment or two grounding and centering your energy. Find a place to stand or sit that draws you to it. And if you feel comfortable enough to do this, close your eyes. Tune into the sounds around you. Now these might be nature sounds or sounds of human occupation. But really pay attention to the sounds, hearing everything in your world around you. Now don't judge or think about what you hear, just listen. And as soon as your thoughts start to interfere, you're not paying attention to the sounds around you. So really try to hear the spirit of the place. Next, physically feel the space around you. Feel with your fingers. If you're sitting on something, feel with your buttocks. If you're standing, feel with your feet. Feel the wind or sun on your face. Maybe it's raining and you feel the raindrops on your body. Again, try not to let thoughts distract you from feeling. Now open up your awareness of scent and really smell the air that surrounds you. If you're outside, it might be the trees, flower scents, or maybe the salt of the ocean. Really lean into your awareness of smell and breathe deeply. Don't think or analyze what it is, just breathe it in. Now open up your eyes and look around you at everything that you see surrounding you. Pay attention to the minute details. Really look. Discover the things that you hadn't previously seen. Now it's time to open your heart to the place. Sit still and allow your heart energy to expand. I like to ask permission again before I do this. And this is because I'm imprinting my energy onto the place, so I want to be in partnership. And when I have the okay, I close my eyes and I focus on my heart. I visualize the energy expanding. Or you can give it a color if you'd like. I just see it as a brilliant white, but you might see it differently. It might be pink or blue or green, whatever. Feel yourself merging with the energy of the space. Feel yourself connecting with the spirit of place. And if you feel this is the right thing to do, ask the spirit of place to reveal themselves to you. Pay attention to the faces that might appear in the trees or a rock. Maybe it's a pattern of water swirls that allow you to glimpse a face. Not every spirit of place will look human. In fact, most don't. So don't be alarmed if you see a troll face or a sprite. Even animal features can be used to convey spirit of place. Again, if you feel that this is the right thing to do, you can ask permission to photograph. But don't be disappointed if you're not allowed to do this. Now, if you can visit the place regularly, it can really help to establish that connection and the relationship with the place. And this is based on mutual respect and understanding. So whatever the weather, whatever the season, keep going back to that place. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I hope you feel inspired to go out into the landscape and to interact with spirit of place. And please do get in touch if you make a connection, because I love to hear about the experiences that people have. So as always, please do like and subscribe if you enjoy videos like this, and ta-ta for now.